Have you ever stood in the middle of your own living room, looked around, and had no idea where to begin? Not because your home is dirty, not because you're lazy, but because everything feels like it's gotten out of control. Every item once had a reason to be there, but over the years, they've turned into burdens, and you're no longer sure how to lighten the load. An old box of sticky notes, a pile of magazines you haven't read, a broken broom you've kept just in case. You're not living in chaos, but it still feels overwhelming. And worst of all is that constant feeling of exhaustion without knowing why, as if your home is no longer a place to rest, but a place quietly reminding you you're not doing enough. Have you ever felt like that? If you have, then today there's a very simple yet incredibly powerful method that might just help you take back control. It's called the 30-30-30 rule. No deep cleaning required. No need to call in help. Just a little bit each day for a result that feels big, both in your home and in your heart. And if you stay with us until the end of this video, you'll understand why thousands of people over 60 have embraced this method. Not to do more, but to live more deeply. This is Senior Rise, where we share ways to live lighter, live simply, and live truthfully with yourself after 50. If this message speaks to you, stay with us until the very end. And if you'd like to walk this path with us every week, hit that subscribe button. Tip 1. Declutter 30 items a day. There's a quiet truth that most people experience but rarely talk about. We're not living in a home full of memories. We're living in a home full of might need this some days, an old blanket no one uses anymore, a book you bought 8 years ago but never made it past page 3, a box of unused kitchen gadgets you're keeping just in case. But that just in case almost never comes. And while you wait for a future that may never arrive, your home and your mind slowly fills up. The 30-30-30 method starts with the simplest thing. Every day, let go of 30 items that no longer serve you. Sounds like a lot, doesn't it? But once you begin, you'll realize the hard part isn't finding 30 items. The hard part is looking straight at why you've kept them for so long. Have you ever held on to something because you were afraid of being judged for letting it go? Or because you felt guilty even though you haven't used it in years? Start small. A drawer, a corner of the fridge, a basket in the bathroom. Each item you release creates not just physical space. It opens up breathing room in your mind. And if you're unsure, ask yourself, if I were moving to a new place today, would I take this with me? If the answer is no, then maybe it's time to let it go. A UCLA study once revealed homes filled with unused items raise cortisol levels, the stress hormone, especially among middle-aged and older women, which means keeping too much doesn't just crowd your house. It quietly drains your energy in ways you might not even notice. Letting go of 30 things a day, it might sound like a game, but in truth, it's a form of emotional therapy. Have you ever tried doing this for 7 days straight? Share your experience in the comments, because your story might just be the reason someone else finds the courage to begin theirs. Tip 2. Put 30 items back in their rightful place. Each day after you've removed your first 30 items, something strange begins to happen. A kind of gentle emptiness, a lightness in the air. But if you stop there, your home might slip back into the same cluttered state within just a few days. Because clutter isn't just about what you keep, it's also about what you keep that doesn't have a place to belong. It's not that you have too much stuff. It's that most things don't know where their home is. A pair of scissors found in the bedroom. a phone charger tangled in the kitchen, keys discovered only by accident in the coat hanging behind the bathroom door. Sound familiar? That's because your belongings are wandering and you're constantly on a search mission. That's why the second part of the 30-30-30 rule is this. Every day, return 30 items to where they truly belong. A pen back in its holder. Papers into the desk drawer. The TV remote no longer under the pillow, but in the small tray by the couch. Over time, everything starts to have a name, a place, and a sense of belonging. When every item has a clear home, your house doesn't just look tidy, it becomes easier to live in. And the best part? You no longer have to think about where things are. You don't have to guess where someone else might have put your glasses, because everyone knows what goes where and when. Have you ever wished that everything in your home just knew where it belonged? It's not a fantasy. All it takes is placing 10, then 20, then 30 items back each day. Like tuning the notes of a song, your home begins to play a symphony of order and peace. And if you come across an item that doesn't seem to have a proper home, maybe it was never truly meant to belong in your space, or maybe you no longer truly need it. Tip 3. Clean 30 surfaces every day. Once things are tidied and returned to their places, your home begins to breathe again. But to keep it fresh, clean, and inviting, there's one more step you'll want to add. Daily surface cleaning. Sounds exhausting, doesn't it? But hold on. Don't think of those long, tiring, deep cleaning sessions with buckets, mops, and backaches. We're not talking about scrubbing the entire kitchen floor before noon. Instead, just clean 30 small surfaces each day. A gentle habit that keeps your home always ready to welcome peace. Start with the most visible spots. A dining table still dotted with crumbs. The kitchen counter after breakfast. Light switches smudged with fingerprints. The bathroom mirror, doorknobs, windowsills, chair seats. Every surface you clean becomes a small pocket of restored energy. Have you noticed? When the house feels clean, your mind feels clearer too. Many people leave all the cleaning for the weekend, then wonder why Monday always begins with a heavy sigh. The secret isn't doing more. It's doing a little, consistently. A slightly damp microfiber cloth is enough to wipe most dust away. A bit of diluted soap and water can bring back the shine to your countertops. It only takes a few minutes, but the feeling can last all day. And especially when you walk into a room and the sunlight glows across a spotless table. The wood floor shows no footprints. The mirror reflects your face without a single smudge. That's the moment when you don't need anyone to tell you. Your home is smiling at you. Wouldn't it be wonderful if your home did that every day? Try starting tomorrow morning. Wipe 30 surfaces, even the smallest ones. And if you feel a shift, tell me about it. Because sometimes one small act can awaken a whole new kind of energy in life after 60. Tip 4. Create simple maintenance systems. Keeping your home tidy isn't the hard part. Keeping it tidy now that's where many of us struggle. After a few days of decluttering, your space may feel neat and peaceful. But one rushed morning, a meal without doing the dishes, or a basket of laundry left unfolded, and suddenly everything seems to fall apart again. Have you experienced that? The problem isn't that you're not trying hard enough. It's that you haven't yet created a maintenance system, something that makes tidiness feel natural, instead of a task you have to force yourself into each day. It's just like brushing your teeth. No one puts it on their calendar. You just do it because it's part of you. So how can you make tidiness feel that natural too? Start with tiny habits, really tiny. After each meal, wash the dishes right away. Before leaving the house, fold the blanket. Hang the jacket you left on the chair. Every night before bed, glance around the living room and return 5 things to their proper place. All of this takes just a few minutes. But those few minutes can shape your entire tomorrow. And most importantly, these systems must work for you. If you often leave the TV remote on the couch, place a small tray right there. If you keep misplacing your keys, install a key hook near the door. Don't try to change everything at once. Start with 1 habit, then 2, then 3, repeated daily. And before you know it, you won't feel like you're trying to stay tidy anymore. Because everything will always be quietly, effortlessly in order. Is there a spot in your home that always seems to get messy, no matter how often you clean it? Observe it and create a small maintenance habit to keep it in check, starting today. And if you're still here with me after all this time, thank you truly. Where are you watching this video from? And what time is it for you right now? Leave a comment. I'd love to know where your journey is beginning. Tip 5. Use the 1-minute rule. Have you ever left a dirty cup in the sink and thought, I'll wash it later? And then by evening, it's still there, along with 2 bowls, a plate, and a spoon, now crusted over. It all started with one task that should have taken less than a minute. That's exactly why the 1-minute rule exists, one of the most powerful parts of the 30-30-30 method. It's so simple that many people overlook it. If something takes less than 1 minute to do it immediately. No hesitation, no overthinking, no when I have time. Fold the towel you just used. Put away the spice jar you finished cooking with. Wipe the water droplet on the counter. Throw that receipt in the trash. We often think these small things can wait, but it's those very small things left undone that quietly pile up into mental chaos. A small study from the American Institute for Mental Health found the more we delay small tasks, the more overwhelmed we become by larger ones. Because our brain is always holding on to the to-do list. Don't forget this, you still need to do that, never getting a chance to rest. On the flip side, when you act on a small task right away, you're sending a message to yourself. I am in control of my environment. I am capable of action. Have you ever let a small task sit all day, only to spend hours later dealing with the mess it grew into? If yes, you're not alone. But here's the good news. You can be like millions of others who changed everything, 1 minute at a time. Try it, starting today. Every time a task pops into your mind, ask yourself, can I do this right now, in under 60 seconds? If the answer is yes, don't wait. Do it now, and feel the shift it brings. Tip 6. Create functional zones in your home. One reason many people feel their living space is always messy isn't because they have too much stuff. It's because everything and every activity is happening everywhere. Have you ever eaten on the sofa, worked at the dining table, read in the kitchen, and left paperwork in the bedroom? If so, you're not alone. And you're not wrong either. Sometimes the space is limited, and we try to adapt. But that kind of flexibility, without clear boundaries, can lead to a sense of mental chaos. Why? Because the human mind craves structure to feel safe and in control. A space for eating, just for eating. A chair for relaxing, just for sitting. Not carrying your laptop or laundry basket. A desk for working, not doubling as an ironing board or lunch tray. Now imagine this. If every area of your home had its own clear purpose, you wouldn't be searching for the remote in the kitchen, or digging for scissors in the medicine cabinet, or feeling lost in your own space. The next step in the 30-30-30 method is this: assign a specific function to each part of your home, clearly and simply. You don't need to knock down walls or buy new furniture, just use what you already have. And reorganize with purpose. The kitchen is for cooking. Keep bills and paperwork out of it. The desk is for focus. Avoid piling snacks or unfolded clothes on it. The reading chair is for rest. Don't let it become a dumping ground for grocery bags. You can even create smart transition zones. A small tray by the door for keys, wallets, and mail. A basket in the living room for remotes and chargers. A coat hook by the entrance, instead of jackets flung over chairs. Have you ever tried organizing your home into such functional zones? If not, start with two of the simplest places, your dining table and your sofa. And if, after doing that, you notice your mind feels calmer, like it knows where it belongs, then you're already on the right path. Tip 9. The less is more philosophy. Keep only what truly matters. At a certain age, people begin to realize abundance isn't about how much you own. It's about not being ruled by your possessions, not feeling mentally tangled or overwhelmed by them. And that's when the phrase "less is more" begins to truly make sense. Let's be clear. Minimalism doesn't mean you live in an empty room. It doesn't mean throwing everything away or denying yourself joy. It simply means keep only what truly serves you, either in function or in feeling. A pot you use every week? Keep it. A book that brings you peace each time you open it? Keep it. An old wooden chair where you read love letters from your youth? Keep it. But 5 sets of pots you've never used, 14 stained tablecloths, a painting you hung just to cover a bare wall, not because it makes you feel anything. Are you keeping them just because you already paid for them? Or because you feel bad throwing them out? Or maybe simply because you're used to seeing them there? A study from Princeton University found that visual clutter directly affects your focus, mood, and even daily decision-making, like what you eat or how you sleep. That means when you're surrounded by too much, you're constantly spending energy ignoring things before you can even start anything else. On the other hand, when you live among only what you love and need, you don't have to ignore anything. You just get to live. Before bringing anything new into your home, ask yourself, do I truly need this? Will it simplify my life in any way? Where will I put it, and what will it replace? Start practicing today. Before you bring one more thing into your space, make sure you've decided what deserves to stay. And each time you choose to let go of something that no longer fits, you're not just cleaning your home, you're creating space for the life you truly want to live. By the time you've listened all the way to this point, something inside you might be gently shifting. Not because of the numbers, 30-30-30, not because of any formula or rule, but because deep down, you know. You deserve to live in a space that feels light, not one that weighs you down. You see, none of the tips in this video asked you to declutter your entire house in a day. No one said you had to throw everything away or live in extreme minimalism. It's all just small actions, steady, gentle, and kind to yourself. One item let go in the morning, one surface wiped in the afternoon, one shirt hung back where it belongs, one tiny ritual before bed. Nothing grand. Yet those little things, repeated daily, are quietly shaping not just tidier homes, but calmer hearts. Do you remember the feeling of walking into a bright, tidy room where everything is right where it should be, not because it looked like a magazine, but because you felt cared for by the very things you did for your own home. That's what Senior Rise is here to remind you. Decluttering is not a chore. It's a way to come back to yourself, one small piece at a time. And if today feels too heavy to begin, that's okay. Just choose one tip. Any one of the 9 you just heard. Do it today, then do it again tomorrow. And slowly, without force, you'll start to write a new rhythm of living. One that doesn't need anyone else to push you forward. Because in the end, we don't tidy up for praise or perfection. We clear space to make room for what truly matters. And now, if you're still here reading these very last lines, I want you to know I'm truly grateful for you. Thank you for your patience, for your trust, and for giving yourself permission to begin again, even if it's just by folding one small towel. If today's message spoke to you, please leave a comment below. Which of the 9 tips felt like the one you'd like to try first? And if you'd like to walk with us on this journey of living lighter, more meaningfully, and more fully, don't forget to subscribe to Senior Rise. We're here every week just to remind you you are never alone on this path.